Hey guys, if you love the locker room and you want the show to continue growing and get the biggest guests on possible, go to moneyball.com.au and sign up for free today. There are plenty of different options to choose from. With over $15,000 guaranteed this weekend, there is plenty of money to be made and heaps of fun to be had. Go to moneyball.com.au, support the locker room and sign up for free today. What is up, guys? I am down in Canberra with the Raiders captain, Jarrod Croker. How you been, bro? Massive win on the week, Monday.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me. It was a good win, mate. It was one we probably needed after the Gold Coast game. We were up 20-6 against the Titans there, and let that one slip. So we got a bit of a rev up through the week, and had a long week because we played on the Monday night and come out and played well against the Doggies down at Belmore.
And what's it been like? I guess you've been the captain for 2 years now, and you're 25 years old. That's a young captaincy, but you've been with Canberra since under 20 days. What's it been like over the last few years? You know, you had that. Was it last year where you kind of struggled because Ricky Stewart was trying to get his squad together that he wanted, and now it's kind of all come together. What's it been like for you?
Yeah, look, it's been good. I mean, this is Stiggy's third year now.
Yep.
So last year we came together well. We sort of only just missed the finals last year, and we only won the 3 games at home, and we lost, I think, it was something like 6 games by 6 or less points at home, which is what cost us in the end. But the year before was a tough one. Stick's first year, we had a bit of an up and down year, and we lost some senior players, and we've got a new fresh squad now, which is what we aimed for, and the squad we've got there now is what we're confident with, and we've started well this year, but it's only round 5 as well.
And what's it been like with you've got Blake Austin at the club? He's honestly one of my favourite players. I love watching him play. But you recruited Caesar, and it seems like that's been that little bit of extra connection or that glue. And then you've got the depth of who's the third half that you have? Sammy Williams. Yeah, and you've got the depth, and then Hodgins playing really well as well. Do you reckon it's that has kind of clicked it in because Caesar's a bit more experienced, so he brings that experience to the halves pairing, and then you've got Austin that's a gun. But obviously he's young, so he's still learning. Has that been a big plus for you?
I think it has. Yeah, I think it has, and the competition as well. I think, like you said with Sammy Williams, they signed Aiden Caesar and with Blake playing as well as he did last year, and everyone was thinking they'd be the halves round 1, and Sammy come out and was supposed to start in the halves, and he got crooked over before the game. But look at the depth that them two the three have added to our squad has just made it so much stronger, and I think Blake compliments Blake really well.
Yep.
He's he's that on your toes sort of ad-lib sort of player, Blake, and which is what he's good at. That's how he's made his name, and Caesar's a bit calmer, and he's got a great kicking game, and he's controlled the boys really well, and with Hodjo there, I think Hodjo's even leading the Dally M's. He's started really well.
Unbelievable.
He's killing it. So and then Jack Whiten at the back, who's he's probably into about his 4th or 5th year as first grade now, and he's still only a kid himself. He's 23, I think, years old.
Starting to find his feet, get a bit of confidence.
That spine is all young. I think Hodjo's the oldest, and he's about 26. So
that's good. That's awesome.
It's a good spine to have, and depth, like you said, with Sammy Williams. He played the first 3 or 4 weeks while those 2 guys were injured, and
played well.
Steered the boys around. He had Elliot Whitehead playing 5'8" with him there for a couple of weeks. So there was a lot of weight on Sammy's shoulders as well, and he handled that too.
And with yourself, I mean, you've had such a great career, and you're still only, we were just talking then, 170 games, 25 years old, captaincy. I mean, as a young kid, did you ever think that this is what would happen, or were you just a young country lad that just whatever?
Yeah, I didn't expect this, that's for sure. I was a country boy growing up in Goulburn, and I always loved footy. Everything was footy. Nothing else mattered to me really. Used to get called the pretender, actually, because I used to pretend to be Brad Fittler.
Pretender.
Yeah, Dad used to coach the Goulburn side back then when I was a young kid, and I used to run around and get in the road of training there. I never thought this would happen, that's for sure. I'm still very humbled about it all, but look, it's exciting. Once I sort of got through that under-20 stage and realised that it could probably happen from there, it wasn't something that I always thought I'd be able to do. I knew I'd always play footy somewhere, but at this level for this amount of time, I didn't know. But very humbled, and hopefully I'm only halfway or so.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, as well, you came through that under 20 side with the Raiders that was unbelievable. You Dugans, Fergo, yourself.
Yeah, we had a pretty good side. I think Fergo came after that.
Did he?
Yeah, he was the year after. But yeah, we had Josh Dugan, Daniel Vito, Drew
Oh,
Lowe,
okay,
Justin
Vito.
Carney, Joel Thompson, Sean Fenson was their
JT.
captain.
Sean Fenson.
Yeah,
That's a good side.
Jarrod Kennedy. So
You beat the Bronx in that final.
yeah, we beat the Broncos in that game in extra time actually, and they had a gun side as well. I think.
Yep, Lexi, Ben Hunt,
Yeah.
McCulloch,
Yeah.
Jarrod Yaoyi.
They had a really good side as well. So look, it's pretty unreal looking back on that. The two sides that played in that grand final, the first grand final, who's come through from there. But you sort of took it a bit for granted back then. You didn't realise
very
how,
true.
When you had the side like that we just named, someone Justin Carney just come out and get the ball and score 4 tries. You just didn't realise how hard you had to work until you got finished that sort of thing. But it was a great experience, and to be able to win the inaugural one was something special as well.
And that was the year, as you said, inaugural. So you had clubs putting their best players in that 20 side. So the calibre of 20 side today, I mean, don't get me wrong, still good. No knock on the guys today, but it's a little bit different. They might put their best 20 guy into reserve grade, play against men, whereas then it was kind of a push to be that kind of number one comp.
I think the novelty not novelty, but I think it's about development more now.
Yep.
I know a lot of Lockie Croker's one of our guys who's now, he's only 19 years old still. He's had a taste of first grade. He's back playing Mounties now. He's playing against men every week. So it's probably more important physically to be playing against those men and getting your body right. But like I said, the first year of that was, like I said, a bit of a novelty. Everyone was pretty excited. And I was only a kid. I was only 17, I think, the whole year throughout that.
Far out, 17.
We were... Yeah, it sort of probably took it for granted a bit, but it was a pretty fun year at the same time.
And so being with the Raiders, you said you're a Goulburn boy. Is the Raiders always been the team that you wanted to play for?
Yeah. Like I said, I was a Roosters fan, but
Yep.
I couldn't see myself in Sydney, to tell you the truth. But look, my debut game was against the Roosters, and Freddie was the coach. So
no way.
That was irony. But look, once I sort of played through got selected in the the academy squads and that sort of stuff as just sort of 14, 15, 16s, and played in the junior rep stuff, the Harold Matts and that. I sort of was always Raiders from there on, and like you said, after that 20s comp and then to play first grade in round 2 of the next season was from there on I was hopefully I still don't, but it was never going to play for another club.
Yeah, was it because what do you reckon? Obviously, it wasn't the local thing because you were a Roosters fan growing up, but is it because a lot of people don't see this outside the NRL clubs? Although there are similarities, they do have different cultures. Like, for example, Raiders are known to be really close for whatever reason. Maybe it's because there's not much doing in Raiders. There's not much going on in Canberra. Yeah, not much going on.
Yeah, that's half the reason. Nah,
yeah. So is there a specific culture that you could kind of point to that drew you to it?
Yeah, it is. It is a big country town, and we're a lot of the boys are country boys, so that probably helps it a little bit. A big one for me. I get an afternoon off or a day off. I can shoot 45 minutes down the road back to mum and dad's and my sisters and all the family and friends. So, that's a massive one for me, especially when I was young. I was 18, 19, playing first grade. Every time I got a day off, I'd go home and see the family and that. Whereas if I'm playing in even Sydney or
you can't get that reset
further away, it's a bit more of an effort. And I know mum still wants to see me whenever she can, and it's been 10 years or so. So she, it's just nice and easy, and all my family and friends are back there, and they've supported me the whole way too. They still bring the mini bus, the 20-seater bus over to the games. And,
oh, really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They've been everywhere, so I owe everything to them pretty much.
And so take us back to your debut, round 2, and that would have been, 2009?
Yeah.
2009. What was it like? What was the call-up like? Was it kind of an expected thing, how you kind of slowly work your way in? Or was it like out of nowhere, like shit? Yeah,
it was out of nowhere. I actually, a few of the boys after that 2008, that under-20s win, they put a few of the boys up to train with first grade, and I wasn't even one of them, I think.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think Josh Dugan was obviously one of them. One of the Mick Picker, like Joel Thompson, guys like that.
Yep.
Were training with first grade, and I actually... trained with the under-20s through till Christmas and a bit after Christmas, and I think one of the boys got Dukes or someone got injured or something before a trial game, and I just happened to get the call up to a trial game in Brisbane, and it was on my sister's wedding, so she was stoked. I brushed her wedding to go up and play a trial game as a kid.
Oh fuck, that's a tough call, tough decision.
Well, it was a tough decision, and I'm sure she still thinks. she's she's
in the back of your head. Yeah.
She's probably filthy at me still, but I think she knows that if I didn't make that choice, it could have gone the other way for me. But look, the choice is as horrible as it sounds. It was pretty easy for me to my decision, and I went up there and I didn't set anyone apart or anything, but played in a trial game, and I was lucky enough to. I had a pretty good group of senior boys around me. I got along really well with the likes of Joel Monahan and Terry Campese, Joey Picker, and those sort of guys who were killing it at that time. And I just got along really well with them. But then I went back and played under 20s the first round, and the next week I got the call into Fernsy's office on the Tuesday, and he just said, we might play you this week. And he goes, I'll ring you this afternoon. And I said, all right. So it was a day off, so I went back home, and I was hanging around all day waiting for this phone call, and I finally got the call, and he said that he didn't name me, but he was going to give me a run. So
didn't name me because like media kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I think so. I'm not sure whether someone was injured or not. Phil Graham or someone may have been injured as well. But look, it's pretty much a blur. I wouldn't remember any of me debut, to tell you the truth. But it's something I'll never remember but never forget, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's the debut, man. And especially before you debut, you're like, one game, just one, just one, and then you just get a little taste, and then you're like, I can't leave here.
Yeah, I think I played about 6 games and then got sent back to under 20s, and I was devastated.
Yep. Yeah. And so going forward, so as you said, you played 6 games. Did you cement a spot the next year, or was it a slower process? Was it over a few years and then you cement it?
Well, I was pretty lucky. Like I said, I think I played 5 or 6 games, and then went back and played 1 or 2 games of 20s, and then I came back up and played. I think I played 21 games that year, first grade.
The next year?
No, the same year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
wow.
After my debut in round 2, I played 21 games.
Far out.
From then, and then touch wood, I think I've played over 20 games.
That's pretty uncommon when I think about it. I'm trying to think of like debutants that go on to play 21 games. Yeah, it's pretty uncommon.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was.
Was that in the Sting or Centres?
In the Centres, yeah. I've always sort of been in the Centres, but it was looking back on it, it was pretty special to play that amount of games in that year. And then the year after, we sort of had we had that run. I actually got a hernia that year, and it was one of the ones you could play with. And then first year of pre-season, off-season sort of thing, after playing first grade, I had the hernia operation and come back a bit chubby and done it a bit tough on. But the next year was when the year we went on the big run and into the semis. So from then on, we've been pretty good.
And so, why do you guys hate the Broncos so much? You seem to always touch us up. What is that? What is that? I've never known this. Everyone that always asks me, the bogey team for the Broncos is the Raiders. We used to come down and get touched up by you every time, like 50-0 and stuff.
We had a good one there, 56-0. That was about 2009. I think.
2009. Yeah. But even before that, the year before that with Wayneside, we went down there. You touched us up, and then you came up to Suncorp, and we beat you fairly comfortably when you kind of Suncorp. But we went down to where you guys were, and you touched us up. And I remember Wayne giving us a massive spray for it. But is that noticeable for you guys, or
not
you don't
really?
know that?
No,
really?
It was always the Dragons until about a year or two ago. We had they called it a hoodoo against the Dragons there, but. I don't know. I guess the Broncos are always, you rarely see a bad Broncos side run around. So they're probably one of the benchmark teams consistently over a long period of time. So whether it's too hot for the boys and then they come down and it's freezing cold, I don't know. The Broncos boys.
Oh man, it kills me. It would kill me when it would come down and be windy, and it would just feel it's like it's deserted.
It's freezing.
So going forward, Brad Fittler was your kind of idol as growing up, but obviously he couldn't really be someone you could mould your game around that much because he was a ball player. But what kind of centre is someone that you kind of but you know what I mean, that you kind of put up on a pedestal to, that's the kind of centre I'd want to be, or not? You just played footy, whatever.
Yeah, look, I was as a kid I was a 5'8" just because.
Oh, really?
As a kid, everyone's a halfback or a 5'8" as a kid, I guess. But it was only until I turned about 15, I think, or 16, I started moving out into the centres. Probably because I didn't pass the ball when I was in but, probably someone like Mark Gasnier. He's sort of that 2007-8 period when I was coming through the juniors was when he was, I think, at the peak of his game there, and
he was unstoppable.
Absolutely, destroying blokes. So he's probably you could probably look at the Dragons then and go, well, I want to attack like Gaz and defend like Coops. It's probably
very true.
Centres. It was probably like that. So probably them two at that time. And obviously someone like Justin Hodges is so good for so long as
Yep.
well. So,
Hodjo.
yeah.
Hates leg weight. Hate leg weights. I've never seen him do a squat. I remember quite a while ago. I don't know if do you watch much footy?
Yeah, a little bit. It's
hard.
When I'm in a mood for it,
Yep.
I'll watch it. If not, I don't. I sort of don't tend to watch a lot before I play. Like
Yep.
if I play on a Saturday, I'll
Does your head in, eh?
yeah, you don't
Yep.
sort of want to watch it. But after on a Sunday, I'll
Yep.
have a beer and watch a game or something.
Because I remember there was a young guy in Parramatta Eels, Loco, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And he was a gun. Like, everyone was talking him up. He's the next big thing. Next big thing, he's going to kill it. He's going to kill it. And they threw him into the the mix of NRL, playing NRL. I think he played one game against an average side, and then the next game was against Gaznia.
Yeah.
And it was just freaking a complete nightmare. And it was kind of, everyone stepped back and was like, all right, okay, maybe he needs a year or
Bit
two
of
more.
time, it's pretty tough getting thrown in the deep end against someone like Gaz.
Remember his footwork was ridiculous,
Yeah,
and he was
footwork.
massive, fanned,
big,
ridiculous.
big range, yeah.
And just talk a bit more about the culture at Canberra. You know, you are a pretty close group. Is it something you actively work on? Is it something that Sticky kind of, Ricky Stewart actually, does he promote that closeness or?
Yeah, he does, but it's something that also comes naturally. I think, like I said,
Yeah.
it's a big country town, so the boys tend to bond pretty well. And like I said before, Sticky's massive on camaraderie and just mateship. And he's not going to stop a bloke from going and having a beer but the boys having a beer together and having a game of cricket or doing stuff like that. Like he loves the boys being together. And I think he's been around a lot. He's coached every rep side there is the coach sort of thing. So he knows what it takes. And when Sticky first come down, everyone that I spoke to that had been coached by him before has just said that you have to buy into what Sticky's selling. You have to buy into it. And I think the boys have bought in really well. And we've got that closeness. We've got some different characters, and it just brings us all together, I guess. And yeah, he's massive on the mateship, the camaraderie, and also the history of the club. He likes getting the old players in. Players from past and present. It doesn't matter if you play one game or 300 games. He just wants the club to be a big family. And
so you can genuinely see he has a passion for the Raiders.
He does. He literally bleeds green. Like it's unbelievable. And he's always into the boys about catching up with older players and stuff like that. And at the time we sort of didn't know whether what the go with it was until we realised how passionate he was about the club. So
you didn't know whether it was kind of forced or whether it was legit.
It's hard to know whether is he saying this to get us motivated, but it's from day one it's been the same. He just wants.
I know what you mean.
He's just passionate about the place, and there's not many more that love the club. Not many people that love the club more than Stick does. So. He's really big on that, and that's brought us together. You can when he's down on the sideline, you can feel his passion, and he's itching to get on the field. Like he just loves the joint, and he wishes he could be out there with us. So it's and that wears off on the players as well. So it's a good thing to have, I guess.
And yourself, you debuted and played 21 games, and you've played 170 over the last kind of few years. What's kind of something that stood out to you? What's been your best year where you've, I guess, had the most happiness playing footy, or you just have those years that seem to stick for you that work?
Probably we haven't played, so we've only played a couple of semi-finals game, and none of them were much fun.
Because we were talking about the
yeah,
kid.
well, I had that one in 2010. That was the second semi. We won the first one, was pretty fun.
Yep.
And then we've had another one against the Sharks in 2012, and at Canberra, and it was a full house. Everything was going perfect, and then with 5 minutes to go, I smashed my cheekbone in. So had a few metal plates in the side of my head, but missed the next semi-final. So probably the first year Sticky came in 2014. It wasn't our best season. We had a couple of tough games there, but it was just a bit of a fresh start for me.
Did you feel like it was getting a bit robotic or not monotonous, but you know what I mean? Is going in the motions.
Probably more got me out of my comfort zone. He done that to everyone. He come in here and blokes with body weight and skin folds and training and fitness and that, like I'd always been thereabouts and done enough to get by, sort of thing. But since Sticky's been here, it's pre-season's been really tough, but it's just about, like I said before, buying into it. And that first year was as trim as I've ever been and light as fit as I've ever been, and I had a pretty solid season. I think I scored 18 or 19 tries. Just everything seemed to come off for me. So, and then from then on, I think it's just built more. I've always had to work on my defence. It's it's been pretty well publicised, in my earlier years about defence and that. So I think Sticky and Dean Pay have been good with that. But I got the Player of the Year in 2014 for the club, so that was probably probably pretty. One of
do
the
you
proudest.
guys is your Player of the Year voted by the players?
Yeah.
So that means fucking
Means
heaps.
a lot. Yeah, it does mean a lot. If you want anyone to vote
it's
for
the
you,
boys
it's
beside
going to
you.
be the boys. The boys you're working your ass off with. So probably 2014, and after that I was lucky enough. I got picked in started getting picked in teams of the Prime Minister's team and the All Stars and the countryside as well last year. So I think that year probably made me pull my finger out a bit, and it probably could have gone one way or the other when Stick come in with a lot of boys. And, thankfully it went the right way for me.
And it kind of sounds like that was the year you went from, that young, really good centre to, all right, now you're a senior player. You need to kind of take responsibility. You've got a choice here. You know what I mean? That fork in the roads a lot of players kind of take. That.
Yeah, it probably was that year. It was, I would have been 23 years old or something. And, I was sort of, like I said, it was sort of maybe a now or never thing, whether I make more of it or whether I go backwards as a player or what it is. But
be more than just like a first grader. You're putting your name out there to be, representative and stuff like as you said.
Hopefully it's just the start of a few selections and stuff like that. But I think it was like I said, a bit of a time to pull my finger out sort of thing and see what I can make of it. And we'd lost a lot of senior players as well. So I had to sort of be a senior player at 23, 4 years old, and it was actually the end of that year I captained the last 3 games, I think, and then the pre-season after that I was named captain of the club too. So
how old is, do you know the average age of your team? Because it sounds like
I don't know.
It'd be pretty young.
It'd be young. Yeah, I think I'd be the oldest in the back line, I think.
Yeah, I honestly think you would be.
Maybe Jordan Rapana, I think he might be my age as well.
But NRL experience-wise, he's not really that old. Like, he's only played like, what, 50, 60 games?
Not even, I don't think he's 40-something, because he went away. He started early and then went away, so I'd probably be the oldest, but I don't know the average age. We've got a young side.
So you're sitting pretty, you're going well now. If you can keep this culture, I imagine in 1 or 2 years, it'd be fucking...
And like I said, those spine of players, and then Josh Papali's 23 years
That's
old
ridiculous.
or something.
He's outrageous, man.
Yeah, I know, and this is as good as he's played. He's
outrageous.
He's one that's bought right into Sticky's culture and his fitness levels and his weight and his skin folds and that are as best they've been, and he's been our best player for the first 5 weeks.
Mate, if he's playing good, there's nothing he can't do. He's literally made for footy. If there was a god in just making footy players, they would make him. He's friggin' unbelievable. I love watching him play.
And you can't run at him.
What's he like at training? Does he go hard? Because you wouldn't want him going hard at training.
No, he's not. He's the opposite.
Thank God.
He's not one of them blokes. He's pretty laid back and casual, but once he gets out there and gets into it and gets that aggression on, he's something different, isn't he?
And it's hard for guys like a lot of people. I mean, the mental side for guys like himself, because it would have been so easy for him growing up, like playing footy and just towing blokes up because he's massive and killing it. It's really hard to I guess when they get to NRL to kind of, enforce into get into their heads that it's not as easy anymore. You know what I mean? They can some like you look at a guy like Dave Taylor, literally made for footy. Yeah. And he could have been anything, but it always came so easy for him. He never had to go that extra mile. Yeah. And it's good that you can see Papali has really he's gone, boom, my God, this is now we're going to play some footy.
He come into it and he like you said, you can't just come in and do what you're doing as a kid. But if he got to those levels, which I think he has now, he can do that. He's good enough to do that 100%. Now. So hopefully he sticks with it. He's like I said, he's only young. He's in our leadership group as well. So
that's awesome.
That young sort of group of leaders. And, guys like Sia Soliola and that are the old boys, I guess. I think Sia's only 29. So.
And what Papali is he Tongan? Or what?
I don't know. I couldn't say it on camera without getting it wrong.
Really? Yeah.
I think he might be Samoan.
Samoan, okay. I think there's
Now
sorry, Papa. Sorry, bro. No, because I only say Tongan because I think that there's some kind of stat or whatever that Tongans are the biggest humans in the earth.
One of them then.
So he must be one of them. My sister, she had kids with a Tongan, and they're friggin' massive, huge. Yeah. So hopefully they'll be like Papali, and they'll be running over blokes. Anyway, back to yourself. So that year, what was it like for you? You know, you're playing really well 2014. You're playing really well. You get Player of the Year. So everything's going good for you personally, but obviously off the field, you know, you guys were struggling. There was a lot of media pressure. You know, with Sticky, you know, he left Eels, he'd come to the Raiders and all that kind of bullshit. Was it hard dealing with both, or not really? You just kind of it happened.
Look, it wasn't too bad for me. I mean, not much bothers me really off the field. Like I try and keep pretty calm and relaxed. So not a lot of that bothered me. And like I said, the stuff Stick was doing, we were buying into, and he was telling us not to worry about that sort of stuff. It was, and I thought he'd done a great job of that as well, ignoring it. And
100%.
He's going to have. Sticky's going to have people like that after him wherever he goes. It doesn't matter who they are or whether that happened or not. He's just that sort of person, and people are just going to love him or hate him, sort of thing. But off the field, I think it was, you know, we did have a tough year, but yeah, things were pretty good for me. I re-signed. I had a week there where I think I captained for the first time, and it was the last game or second last game, and then. Re-signed for another couple of years, then bought a house all in about 3 days. So my off-field for me was pretty good at that time. But
fucking hell, not bad at all.
Yeah, had a good couple of days there. So I think it's my birthday too. But,
a few beers would have been thrown in there too.
Yeah, well after the last game there would have been. But look, it was off the field was all pretty good, and we're coming back to training after that. It was when we'd signed Osto, and. I know we sort of knew how good he'd gone and couldn't really work out why the Tigers had let him go. And then he just come down to training and just fit straight in, and just the character that he is, he just took off and excelled from there on. And we had a good year last year, and an exciting year without making semi-finals football. We were still obviously pretty filthy at not playing semis and that, but we could see, I guess it gave us a spark and a freshen up, and you know, like you said, with Aiden Caesar and guys, Hodjo and Elliot Whitehead and guys like that coming to the club, it's just sort of freshened things up and gave us that new look, I guess, new young, you know, healthy sort of squad, and it's a good place at the moment.
And Blake Austin, like, what has it been like, I guess, seeing him develop into the player he is? I mean, have you seen him growing in confidence and all that kind of stuff? Has it been enjoyable?
He's always confident.
Bro, I love watching him play, bro. And that goatee is so good. Yeah. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It's going to be released later today, but I was a bloke in a bar and I'm talking about how I think that he has to be number 6 for Origin.
Yeah. He wouldn't look out of place, that's for sure. He's a big body, and he's just made for that sort of game, I think. Look, I think he has grown in confidence, but he's always been that, like I said, confident person. But I think with C's coming there, and Sammy done it well last year as well. Sammy sort of steered the ship as Blake could play his natural running game, and I think Aiden's done that as well, a lot for Blake as well. But you know, they both got injured in the first game, so Monday night was their first game together. So, hopefully they're just going to grow from there. I think they will, and I'm sure they wouldn't look out of place, both of them in a blue jersey, but I'm just worried about them in a green jersey for now.
And yourself, you know, take us back to what's something, I guess. Actually, we'll talk about that semi-final kick. Walk us through that. You know, like take us back into that moment. You're in the semi-finals against the Tigers, you said.
If you enjoy the locker room and want the show to continue growing, head over to moneyball.com.au and sign up for free today. This weekend alone in round 7 of the NRL, we are guaranteeing $15,000 in cash prizes.
Tigers, it was a packed house at Canberra Stadium. I think we won the first week against Penrith. We beat them by 2, and I'd only just taken over the goal kicking roles from Campo. I think halfway through the year he slipped off the plane and hurt his hemi, like after a game.
No way.
Yeah, after a game.
Surely the boys were spraying him for that, calling him old and stuff.
And then the week later was actually, it's funny, we played the Tigers at Leichhardt, so they played them as well, and I took over the kicking. I can't remember. I kicked a few goals. I don't know if we won or not, but I didn't miss or whatever. And then from then on, I just kept kicking, and Campo was just.
So you weren't always a kicker.
I was a kicker. But through the under-20s, Dukes done most of the kicking as well. So. Oh,
okay. Because I always thought that you were just a gun kicker, and what I mean. That was a string to your bow kind of thing.
Yeah, I always kicked. As a kid, I was always the goal kicker and that. But I sort of just kicked, and I didn't want to. I was never the kid to go and give me the tee, I'll kick sort of thing. I just
okay,
if someone
so
else was kicking, I'd go, you can kick, mate, sort of thing. So
right, okay.
I wasn't sort of the one that throw my hand up, and then I think Dukes, like I said, kicked all through the 20s, and then that happened, and then I took the kicking from there on, and I was kicking really well. I think before that kick, I'd kicked 14 or 15 in a row.
Oh,
so
no,
I was on fire.
fucking way.
I was on fire.
Oh, my
and
God.
Then, I had the chance there. It's all a bit of a blur. Like I said, it was especially because it was the last game, so it was a Friday night, and we got on the beers for about 4 days after. It didn't help, but
Drowned. Yeah, that's a good thing actually.
sorrows.
So you don't actually remember it. Yeah, you don't
it
remember
was.
it.
But I still haven't watched the kick. I don't think really.
Oh, really?
No, I
should got it
still.
up. Break your heart.
Yeah, someone brings it up every month. It's crazy about it somewhere, but especially when we play the Tigers. But,
it was a gettable kick, like it wasn't.
Yeah, it was in front, about 35 out, I think, or something like that. So it was.
But it's not as easy as people think. Like I did some kicking for the Warriors for a bit.
Yeah.
That added pressure is fucking ginormous.
Yeah.
I think it is. Anyway.
I'd rather it be from the sideline, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but,
100%.
There was. I was pretty distraught after it. I was buggered. I threw my boots out, and I'd had enough. They got mum and dad down in the sheds to make sure I was all right. I was only 19, I think. I just turned 20 maybe, and I was pretty upset about that. But it's probably a good thing I was that age, because when you're a bit younger and a bit more flamboyant or something, I guess you tend to not stress too much about things. I still don't now, so.
But you can probably move on from it quicker.
Yeah, I think I did. I come out the next year, and I don't think I kicked real well either that year. And then it took me a while. I always got over it pretty quickly, but then someone would always bring it up, and it doesn't bother me. It is what it is. I'm sure everyone's got one of them in there.
I did time, against Newcastle Knights.
Yeah.
Against the Knights.
Yeah,
terrible.
Look,
lost the game.
Probably lucky I was so young, and I think I've had time since then to make amends for it, and I've had a few good kicks since then, and.
So take us to, it was the next year in the semis. Was it the semis that you won? You said you kicked to win it, or was it the year after?
Nah, that was just a club game.
Just a club game, but you take us
that
through
was
that.
That was only last year.
That was only last year.
It took about 5 years to get to that
5
point.
years to redeem yourself.
I was all good before that. But,
it's just in your head for 5 years.
It was just always the Tigers. Played the Tigers down at Leichhardt, and we were down. We were 22-0, I think, at half time. They were pumping us, and then we came back in the second half, and it was blowing a gale. They had it at the first half, and we had it at the second half, and we came back, got it to 22 all. I think it was about 5 minutes to go, and we got a penalty about 40 odd metres out, 42 out or something, which is it's a fair kick as well when you're kicking off that little tee.
Was it directly in front, or
pretty just probably the right of the sticks, but not too bad. And sure enough, I put my hand up to have a kick, and had the wind behind my back, so I wasn't worried about that. But then, a few of the Tigers boys were into me, reminding me of it.
So at the tee?
Yeah.
So you were at the tee and the boys were spraying you?
Yeah.
What were they saying? Just like, I remember.
Yeah, I remember that one. But I forgot about this. The year before, 2014, I had a kick against the Tigers I think it was to even it as well, or to go in front.
Yep.
About 40 out at Campbelltown. I missed it as well.
Oh.
So I think it's just the Tigers, and then I put this one down, and they were absolutely spraying me. But I knocked it over.
Were they just saying stuff like, remember last year, mate?
2010, all over again.
That's awesome.
It didn't bother me. It's all a part of the game.
Do you remember specifically who was spraying you? He's like,
I remember a couple of them, but I won't.
all right. Fair enough.
Same one every time, put it that way. But I knocked it over, and we got the win, which is pretty exciting. But I've had a few good kicks as well.
Yeah.
But people probably don't remember. They remember all the bad ones. But
100%.
Yeah, look at like I said, probably a good thing I was so young, sort of water off a duck's back then. And if you're worried about stuff like that, then you're gonna have a long time. But we had one there a couple of weeks ago against the Knights.
Yep.
24 all. I tried to kick it from 55 out.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Had the breeze on my back, and I missed it. And no.
I've seen that. And I did see that. So did you get the call for that, or did Sticky call down for it?
No, Sticky sort of let that one go. He backed me after the game. He said, "Oh, you got to have a shot, sort of thing. You got to do it." We had a howling breeze, and I got the kick off tee, and I think he caught it on the. I didn't hit it real well. Like you know yourself, if you kick you can feel it. If you kick off and you kick it, you can kick it down on the full if you hit it sweet. Like it's 60 odd metres. So I thought, surely I'll be right. I had the breeze and that, but
it's weird because you don't when you're kicking off.
You
Well,
don't try and kick it too hard.
Exactly, yeah, and it fucking goes.
Flies, yeah.
But
So
when
I
you
was hoping to
convert,
do that, but it didn't. And then, yeah, but like I said, if you're going to worry about those things, there's no point being in the game. But we've moved on from then.
Yep. And so on the weekend, you scored 2 tries, didn't you?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's awesome. So how many tries are this year for you? 3, 4?
4, I think. Yeah, 4 this year. So
I'll be up there. I chose you a few times in my fantasy side.
Oh yeah,
that's me sponsor.
A bit quiet early on.
Yeah, no, you've been all right. You've been solid because your goal kick.
Yeah,
and who's been mad as well? Hodgson's been unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he's on like 10 or 12 daily endpoints.
Mate, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
With your playing style, you're not you're a big guy, but you're not a huge centre. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, you're a consistent player. You do a lot of work. Your defence has improved a lot. And what has it been? I guess is it something that you consciously think about as a player? As in, do you have a specific type of player you want to be, or is it you just kind of play footy and that's the way it is?
It'll be a little bit of both.
Yep.
I like to just go out there and play a natural game and
Yep.
not try and overcomplicate things and stress too much. And
do you pride yourself on being a consistent, solid footy player? Because you don't really make that many errors, like from what I can tell, and it always seems like you're consistent. You consistently, do a lot of work. You consistently make your tackles. You don't really drop the ball often. Whereas you've got some centres that, they might drop the ball once or twice, but they'll also throw a ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it something that you kind of think about, or?
Not something that I think too much about. I think it's something, probably being the captain now too, you've probably got to just base a lot of your game on consistency as well, and doing the right things every week. So, saying that, they don't want to take your footy away from you either.
Yep.
Playing natural footy, but I think over the last couple of years, I've sort of tried my hardest to think defence first, just get my defence right first. I've always copped it. I'm always going to cop it about my defence, and a lot of people do, but I always try and think defence first, because, and same with a lot of other players, your attack just comes natural. It's most players are just attacking players naturally. So a lot of my good things happen off probably opportunist stuff, or just support play and basic stuff like that, being around the ball and that. But if I can get my defence right, and then I know that I can attack. And when you got blokes like Blake Austin and Jack White and that, and we're a pretty good attacking team from anywhere on the field. So if we can get it, it's not only the team, but if I've got my defence right, then I know attack won't be a drama either.
And what's something that, a memory of footy, or even, whatever, growing up, that you kind of stands out in your mind? When you think footy growing up, is there any kind of memory of you remembering to, watching Fittler play in the 2001 grand final, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, what?
I went and watched the 2003 grand final, I think it was. The Roosters
Penrith. Was that the Scott?
2002. Yeah. 2002. 3. They won it in 2002, I think.
Was it Scotty Sattler tackle?
Yeah. Oh, I cried. I was only about 12, I think. I cried.
You cried?
I was right behind it, and Todd Byrne was running away from me, and Scott Sattler come across, and it bawled my eyes out.
So you saw it live in action?
Yeah, I was sitting right on the fence. I cried, mate. Absolutely killed me. That's how much of a diehard I was.
Really?
I used to, on the Friday night, if the Roosters ever played, and my uncle used to stir me up all the time.
Yeah.
If the Roosters would get beaten on a Friday night, the phone would ring, and he'd be given a big cock-a-doodle-doo, and I'd stay on the phone and throw it and crack a tantrum.
How old were you when he was spraying you?
I would have been like 7, 8, 9.
He's spraying to 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, he still does. He's a shit stirrer, but he was a Manly fan too, which didn't help. But I've got all them. They're all converted now. They're all Raiders fans now. But I used to take it to heart. Same like getting out in cricket. I used to turn around and hit the stumps over. I was a pretty competitive, yeah. Bad sport.
Oh man, it's funny how like most footy players are usually pretty competitive when it comes to whatever they're. Is there any other sports that you played growing up? You spoke of cricket just then. Is there any other sport?
I played a lot of cricket. Played it was cricket all summer. I loved me cricket as well. I was I played a little bit of the rep stuff and all that sort of gear. But it was always footy. I played soccer. I used to live next to the soccer field, so that's actually where I practiced my goal kick and all as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, we used to go over to the soccer fields and find the remember when people used to have coffee mugs like the foam ones?
Oh yeah.
We'd turn them upside down, turn them into kicking tees, and that's where I practiced.
Oh really?
Goal kick, yeah.
Fuck, that's crazy because they used to be everywhere. Like,
people would throw them out.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
I use them as kicking tees, and that's probably where I learned how to goal kick. But
is your kicking tee the same shape as that now? Like, because do you have it a bit
about
up?
The same height? No, it's only the little ones, so it's probably a similar height. Yeah,
that's cool, man. So you used to cut them up and just put them on the thing and just bang them over. So did you? Were there footy posts there, or was it over soccer goals?
Soccer post, yeah. So really? Straight, otherwise didn't know if it went over or not.
That's cool, man. Those little friggin', I remember those. That was so good. You get like a hot chocolate, it'd be freezing cold.
Yeah.
Oh man. What's something, I guess, footy wise, playing professional footy, what's one of your craziest memories that you look back and you kind of think that was mental? Like whether it be, for example, Wade Graham was talking about Anthony Tupou on Monday. He had an ACL done. He knew he'd done his ACL and he played and trained on it for a week. Didn't tell anyone and just strapped it up.
Gee, that is good. Hard to beat too.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. I'm stitched up here. Joshy Miller was talking about tongue. His nose flipped around.
Joshy Miller's one to talk. He used to knock himself out every week.
Oh, bro.
He's unbelievable.
Mate, he's the toughest man I've ever met in my life.
Him and Tungy are the two toughest blokes I've ever played with, hands down. They just, every week they'd have the shirts off. They were both ripped to the bone. And there'd be needles going everywhere, injections. And Tungy and Joshy were probably two of the harder ones to beat.
It's crazy. Back like the stuff that they used to play with, only 5 years ago. Nowadays, you wouldn't. No chance you'd play. No chance.
Yeah, no way.
They'd say, no, you need a fit.
Joshy's shoulders and ribs and that would always, and Tungy as well, be getting needled. And Tungy'd have a broken nose every second week. There was that game actually, the Tigers game where I missed the kick. Sean Fenson played with a lacerated kidney, I think, or lung or something.
A lacerated kidney?
Yeah, he had something in there for 28 minutes he played for.
Fuck off! That is fucked.
He's going down the same lines as them, just toughness and that. But
bro, that's worse than ACL. You can die. Couldn't you die from?
Yeah, I think it was his kidney or his lung or something down there, but it was punctured. It wasn't good. But
so how did he find? Like, what happened? Like, tell us how did he find out? Did he?
That was all a blur, that game for me.
Yeah, you were too worried about.
He played 28 minutes with it. I don't know whether it was the last, whether it happened with half an hour ago. I know Shillo tipped him into a hospital ball. I think it was Keith Galloway that got him.
So it's Shillo's fault.
Yeah, Shillo's fault. Fenno was just filthy. He couldn't come on Mad Monday with us.
So did he just go to the doctors after it? And they're like,
I think
you fully lacerated your kidney.
Probably shouldn't be.
Because if did he use the terminology lacerated? Because if he did, it would be kidney. Because
I don't know.
It'd say punctured if it was lung.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it was one of them.
Mental.
Both of them are bad, but one of them.
I have to do some journalistic work, mate. Chase her up.
Yeah, probably that one. That's
fuck. That tops a lot. Like I thought, you can't top an ACL, but lacerating your kidney.
I think it was, unless it was punctured. It was one.
Let's just say it's lacerated, bro.
Anyway,
let's just say his leg fell off.
Play anyway.
Let's just say he nearly died, like his leg fell off or something. Fuck, that's hectic, bro. Lacerated kidney. Some of that's, I don't know. Some like I don't have that in me. I don't have that toughness in me.
No.
I don't understand what it is.
I remember it was like the first one of the first games after the next season, round 1 or 2 game. I think I got poked in the eye or something, and I was standing out the side and just worrying and going about that. And I think it was Andrew McFadden, Cappy. He was our assistant coach at the time, and he goes, "What are you doing here on the video?" And I said, "Oh mate, I've got a poke in the eye. I couldn't see what I was doing here." He said, "Fenno played for 30 friggin' minutes with a lacerated or punctured lung or whatever it was, and you're worried about getting poked in the eye." Fair call. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool. That's classic. And going forward for you, I guess, what is your future? You've captained. You've made All Stars. You've made country. You guys are playing well. You're only 25 years old. Obviously, you would love to play for your state. Is that something that you actively think about, or is it something that you're going to play footy? You get selected. If not,
yeah, not something I really think about. Obviously, I'd love to. It'd be a dream come true. The guys they've got there, I think Jennings and Morris and even Dukes and those centres, I think they've done a pretty good job, to tell you the truth, the last couple of years. So it's not something I'm going to go, I think I'm ready or something like that. But if I got to play, I wouldn't hesitate one bit. I'd be that excited. But I'll just take it all in my stride, mate. Like you said, we're a young squad, and we need to play finals football this year, the Raiders, and I'm a strong believer in if your team's going well and you're playing good footy, then you get more blokes in rep sides, and we've got a lot of players that can play rep footy, I think, and if we're going well, then those things will come down the track. But look, I'll just head down and week at a time, and hopefully they keep the city country game as well. I'd love to play that again, and hopefully they keep it beyond this year. But like I said, can't pick the team yourself. But we'll take it a week at a time, and hopefully play finals football again this year, and just keep leading this great club around, because I do love the club, and it's good, like we talked about earlier, just such a young age and a young group. I think we've got a massive future. And
is that something that excites you? You know, like when you
It
really
does,
sit
yeah.
down and say, look, I'm 25 years old. We've got this extremely young side. We're playing extremely well right now. The possibilities are endless. You know, you could be a part of a dynasty if you really, you know what I mean? That is on the cards for you guys.
Yeah, it is. We've got potential, but you know, it's consistency's been a big problem from the club as well. So, you know, we've got to try and avoid all that hype and talk as well. And
very true.
You know, keep our heads down and like I said, just take it a week at a time, because it can, you know, two losses in this comp and you've gone from third to 13th.
100%.
So,
yeah, very true. Very true.
Yeah, look, it's exciting. The players we got and the club we got and you know, what we're building, but it's not just going to happen. It's got to be hard work, and you know, it's not going to come easy. But I'm sure if we do put that hard work in, then there's going to be some good times ahead for us.
And like, I guess as a captain, what is something I guess there hasn't been really much insight into a captain's mentality. You know, what is something that you sit down on a weekend, and I don't know if you do, is it just you're more of a footy and you just let your footy do the talking, or is it do you sit down on a weekend or an afternoon and think, all right, this is a strategy, or this is something that I want to bring to the boys this week, whether it be I want to talk more, I want to be more positive, I want to be more harsh on the boys. You know what I mean? Do you think about those things or not really?
I try to a little bit, because it's not something that's in my nature to be like a
strategic
and tell us say this and do that sort of thing. It's but you know, I do like to try and lead by example on the field with just with actions. But you know, I do sit down and think about things, because you can't just let things slip by, and you do have to sort of run a bit of a ship. And I've got a good leadership group as well, and you know, the other four boys in the leadership group are all forwards, so they're the engine room as well.
Yep.
So it's I'm pretty lucky there, because they do. Josh Hodgson and Sia Soliola do a lot of talking and a lot of the, you know, the like I said, the engine room sort of stuff.
Okay.
The forwards aren't going to have me stand there and say what we've got to do right and wrong. They're just going to go, get back in the centres, mate. Look, I'm lucky I do have that leadership group, but I do have to sit down and work on things and work out how I can be better. And I guess, you know, a few little things like, you know, make sure the boys are all right off the field and be able to have a chat, and just you know, the junior players, I guess, or the younger players be able to come up and approach me and stuff like that, and be very approachable. And one thing Sticky has done is he wants us to run the show and you know, make the calls and discipline and everything like that, the good, the bad, and just run the show. So there's a lot of responsibility on our shoulders, but the leadership group we have is pretty good. And I guess it's like I said, I'm pretty laid back, pretty cruisy sort of thing. I don't tend to say a lot unless I have to, sort of thing. And you do get sick of hearing the same voice. So if I'm standing up there barking orders every training session or every meeting or something, they're just going to zone out and not listen to me. So I try and trying to keep a balance with that as well, and keeping the boys fresh and making sure everyone's, you know, good on and off the field. And I guess on the field it's, you know, we've got leaders all over the field, and I do. It's
more of do you see it more of as like you've got your leadership group and you all have certain roles to play? Like, for example, there might be a guy that chats more or whatever, and then there might be a guy that he's, you know, inspirational with a carry some here or there kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it is like that. Like Sia Soliola does a lot of talking. Then someone like Sean Fensom, he doesn't really say much.
But
when he
just win
speaks,
games.
Everyone listens, but then he comes out and makes 55 tackles a game and just works his ass off for the team. So it's a good balance, and Hodjo's in there as well. He's you know, he's leading the team on the field. He's steering the boys
killing
around. He's just killing them, and then I guess Papa he's probably just learning a lot, especially off guys like Sia, and that he's just learning about how to become a leader. He can lead on the field, but off the field, learning how to do that and to talk up more, because he's one of those blokes that's he's like I said, he's 23 or something.
You can build
a club around him, sort of thing. So he's just learning to do all that as well, and I think it's great for him to be in the leadership group now. So
have you spoken to any of the older boys, like when you did become captain? Did you give them a call and like get a few tips off them or anything? Or not really.
I spoke to Alan Tung a fair bit. Kept in touch with Tung. He was my skipper there for a long time, and he was one of the blokes that he just led wherever it was. He'd be first bloke on the footy field, last bloke off. He'd train his ass off.
You could see it on the field too.
Yeah, he'd get needles just to train. Like, he wouldn't not train. he just loved absolutely every one of the boys and just led by example. So I've always been a big fan of Tungies, and he still keeps in touch now. He's always there to lend a hand and always sends a text if he's wants to catch up for a coffee or just work things out. So he's been pretty good, and it's a bit of that and a few other boys. But at the same time, I remember the advice my old man gave me when I did become the captain. I said, I'm talking to this bloke and that bloke, and he said, yeah, it's all well and good, but do it your way. It's your job now. Do it your way. So that's another thing you've got to balance up. You got to take advice and opinions, but at the end of the day, it's my job as well. So
it falls on your shoulders. You can't really defer to them if something goes wrong.
Yeah. So I'm lucky in the sense, like I said, I've got a good leadership group, and guys like Sticky and Dean Pay and Mick Crawley are that easy to approach, and it makes it pretty easy as well. So. It also helps when you're winning games, doesn't it?
100%. Yeah, if you're winning, it's sweet.
Yeah, that's right.
And just a few quick questions. Hobbies outside. I noticed some racing, some horse racing or something like that. Love horses or?
Love the horses. I've got, I think, 9 horses.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
fucking hell.
6 trotters and 3 gallopers. So the trotters, my mate's Brad Hewitt back in Goulburn. We call him Hollywood. He absolutely hates it, so make sure everyone gets on board with that.
Hollywood Hewitt. Hollywood Hewitt.
He hates it, but he drives and trains them all, and we sort of grew up together, and a couple of other mates back there, and I've got my old man and that all in on the trotters now, so they're all...
So is that something you would like to go into after footy?
Yeah, I
or would you like to stay around footy?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't be a coach. I couldn't be a coach.
Fuck that.
No way in the world.
No chance.
But... if I could get into it, it'd be something I'd definitely enjoy and think about. But
you've got that base now. Let's say you've got 7 years to build that kind of base of whatever.
Yeah.
To get into it, have the connections. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be good. I think down there though, when I'm there at the moment, I'm just getting the road when I'm down at the stables. Look, it's something I really enjoy. I love it, and I've got a couple of gallopers as well with some mates and family and that. So it's definitely something I love. And
tell us a heartbreaking punting story.
I've had my fair share of losses, that's for sure. No one wins in the punting game, do they?
No, that's why there's places like Las Vegas.
Yeah. Just the recent one that comes to mind on the weekend, there was obviously the big races down at Randwick.
Yep.
I had a multi on. It was... I can't remember all the horses. There was 5 legs, I think. Clearly Innocent, Chautauqua, all the Winks, obviously. Astern, and Tarzino was the 5th leg. I was paying 66 to 1. I had $50 on it, and Tarzino was a $2 favourite and got absolutely busted. Ran like a donkey, and it just cost me a fortune.
So he was the most favourite out of the.
They were all favourites. But it just seemed like an easy one. It seemed too good to be true. So I had that. I had a quaddie the week before where we played golf. Played golf on the Wednesday just out here in Canberra, and actually ran into a bloke that does strapping for a horse in Canberra Horse.
Oh, okay.
It's single gaze, and he strapped it up, and he said he was strapping it the weekend. He said it should go really well. It'd be hard to beat.
Hard to beat. You've been sucking.
Well, I missed it.
You missed it. So he did win.
It won. I paid $21, and I put a quaddie on, and it's the only leg of the quaddie I missed. The quaddie paid like $10,000. I didn't even put it in.
So you didn't trust him?
No, I didn't deserve to. I didn't deserve to win that day. It was,
that's funny.
It was horrible, but we've had. Yeah, there's been a couple there where.
What's been the best win where it's just boom, like you just cut out of nowhere, you fucking won it?
Best win. There's another loss there where we, me and my mate, we had that owns the trotters with us. One of the trotters that had come back in was supposed to win. It was going real good. It was just meant to be, hard to beat. So we loaded up. It was. There's a fair bit on it.
The good old look away. There was a fair bit on it.
There was a fair bit on it, and it got beaten by about a nose.
Oh no!
I won't say how much it was because Mum probably watched this. But I've had a few good wins as well. I like doing the multis when all my horses are racing, and we had one there one night where I won about $6 or $7 grand, which is good.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But, you'd be fucking flying high
I was
after that.
Pretty happy with that. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I lose more than I win. That's for sure, but everyone does. But one of the boys won $9.5 grand on the pokies the other day.
On the pokies,
Yeah.
fuck, I've never been a big bettor. The only thing,
Yeah,
honestly,
probably
and
a good thing.
It sounds biased, and it probably is biased, but like obviously my sponsor is like fantasy footy. Ever since I've had the sponsor and played fantasy footy, it's mad. It's
Yeah.
actually mad. It's good.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. And just two more questions. Favorite rapper of all time? I don't know if you like rap, but favorite rapper of all time?
Rapper?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not a rapper?
not really.
Not
I used
a
to listen to Eminem as a kid.
Yes, yes.
Only because it was a cool thing to do.
Yes,
And
that's
then-
bro. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone says Tupac or Biggie, and I'm always
Nah.
arguing with them and saying, "Bro, Eminem is the man."
When I was a kid, it was always Eminem and Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit,
two
yes.
bands, so I was
And then did you remember they had a beef? Like he sprayed them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do remember that. Yeah, so that was probably it. But yeah, you wouldn't get me listening to much of that anymore. But country
Okay.
music now.
Country.
Yeah.
Favorite country singer then? Slim Dusty. I'll just stereotype.
Probably like a Keith Urban or this because he's in Aussie. Maybe
I seen him at
Luke Bryant. Yeah, I seen Keith Urban last year. He was unreal.
Oh, I didn't see him live. I seen him at the. He was at Bo Ryan's. You know, he did the play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Him and Nicole Kidman were out there. Mrs. nearly fainted.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking man.
Kills
Nicole,
it.
man, it was so weird seeing Nicole Kidman in real life, man. Like,
She's about 2 foot tall, then, isn't she?
yeah, but like, she's like a movie star. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it's different. Like, you see a sports player, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, like
Movie star.
But
yeah.
like, she's a fucking full-blown
Yeah.
Hollywood movie star. And what was that? Favorite movie of all time?
Favourite movie of all time. There's a list. There's be a few. Super Troopers.
Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Fuck, we can't go over with your father. Fuck, that's a great movie.
Yeah,
Meow. What are you doing, Meow?
the Mexico part of it at the start.
Yeah, yep.
I went to Mexico with Joshie Miller. You boys like Mexico?
Bro, he always says that.
Yeah, he said it to me then, and I was just lost it. And it was like that too.
Every time we're having a drink, he'll say,
Yeah.
"You boys like Mexico."
Yeah. He said that to us at the airport then, and he didn't fail to disappoint either. He had a fair go. That
Oh,
was good.
bro, we went to Vegas. And he said that on the way home in the plane, he said he was hallucinating, and all he could hear was my voice in his head.
Yeah, I had the
I-
same thing with Mexico and Joe Monahan.
Oh,
we could just
no.
hear his voice in my head. I was
Really?
like,
'Cause he was
"Get
just-
away."
was he constantly
He's
just-
full on, mate? Full on.
All right, brother. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, mate. Unreal.
We've been it's been gone overtime, so I apologise. But yeah, thanks for coming on, bro. And I hope the Raiders go well because I always enjoy when the Raiders go well because you always seem to be the underdogs, and yeah, I enjoy it, man. And I just love watching you boys play, especially Blake Austin. I said in the Bloke in a Bar episode, I said that if he makes Origin, I want to make like Goaty mask.
Yeah, you'd be able to
That'd
do
be
that,
awesome.
sure.
But seeing you boys play well, I love it because you're always seen as the underdog, and you've got a good side, man. I hope you continue to kill it.
Beautiful. Thanks,
All right.
mate. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
That's it.
If you enjoy the locker room and want the show to continue going, head over to moneyball.com.au and sign up for free today. This weekend alone in round 7 of the NRL, we are guaranteeing $15,000 in cash prizes.